Not exactly hidden. Make a hole, Tang shouts out, and there's a rush forward and all the projections are slammed to the ground. Without 50 people, foe and friendly, in the way the next second involves the launching of a tiny device along a railgun. The rice grain-sized piece of Kutha hits the target, and she vanishes, shortly followed by the wall-to-wall army of duplicates she brought in. Keep moving, people. We're on the clock. They have a simply system. Roll over everyone you can, and if you can't use Kutha pellets to force a teleport on them, they arrive in the bright forest and are instantly overwhelmed by having all the drugs their systems can handle, and if not knocked the fuck out, then they're too high and just out of it to do anything but giggle and sit. They rush through and kick down every door, closet, stairwell, empty staff room. A series of shocked shouts as they boot open the door to a room with tons of little kids. The bandanas come down and helmets are taken off to reveal their heads and make them more personable. "Kids," one of the sorcerers says, kneeling down. "Children, you are in danger. Take my hand and we will do all we can to reunite you with your families." "Who are you? What's going on? I can go home." There's a flurry of questions from the children. What's going on is that many people have lied to you and have been doing terrible things. Those nightmares you've been having are true and we need to get you out of here. "Who are you?" one of the boys says. He's a little Sonier child with dewy brown eyes. "I am Galith Uwan the Bloodbark, sorcerer of the dark forest of Serbo, and now of the bright forest of Lilb Tulelb." "Lilb Tulelb, is that a planet?" "We're on a planet. I've never been on a planet before," the Sonier says. "You've been here a long time, but they've made you forget. We need to get you out of here." "We've got contacts," one of the village sorcerers notes. "We're out of time. I'm sorry, child, but this is for your own good," Galith Awan says sadly, and he holds his hand near his face. A round puffball mushroom is there. With a single breath it pops and the spores spread through the room to each child unerringly. Then they're all gone, taken to shelter in the bright forest. "The innocent are safe, and so," Galith Uwan says as he turns, his eyes glowing with phosphorescent light, "the guilty shall suffer. Take them alive. We need prosecutions, not pools of blood." Tang orders even as he catches the infuriated Apuk around the midsection. His eyes meet the furious stare of the ancient killer, and he does not flinch. If you kill them, then they get only one chance to be made an example of. We're milking this, so they need to survive. "Fine, but I'm not going to be gentle." "Good," Tang says, and he lets the man pass. The 3 steps it takes for him to enter the hallway is all the time Galith Wan needed to deal with the small force. Tang can only catch a glimpse of the 5 women before they vanish into the bright forest to be contained. "Let's go," Tang orders. "It's all right, children. Everything will be all right." Maji Kemka assures them as they arrive. Things are going to be all right. "Where are we?" is the most common question, with a dozen other being thrown around at seeming random. Welcome to the bright forest, children. Every mushroom, bit of dirt, and animal you see around here is part of one really big and really friendly axiom creature. It's going to be helping me and my friends take care of you all. Maji Kemka answers. Now, many of you may find this strange, but a lot of time has passed since... Oh, we have even more coming in. It's important, but hard to stay cheery and upbeat when more and more children appear in the clearing. By the hundreds they pour in, each one a stolen victim from their home, and most of them having only the vaguest nightmares about what happened to them. But if they bear no scare and have no memory of what happened, then is it really something that happened to them? If a stain is wiped away, then things are clean. But can the same be said of an injury? "Hey, I got it working. Who wants to watch Dare Kemka movies?" Slytherin asks as one of his drones starts projecting in all directions. There's a slight cheer and an answer. "All right, now everyone find someplace nice to sit and enjoy." Slytherin calls out even as Magikemka walks up to him. What are you doing? You're interrupting the speech. Not all the kids are here yet, and we need to get all of them at once so rumors don't do crazy things. But if they show up in a movie theater, then most will sit down and watch. Most of them anyways, Slytherin says. Right. Right now, the main focus is keeping everyone calm and happy so that we can send them home easier and break the bad news to those that don't have one anymore. Magikemka says, No, they will have a home. I know what I need to do now, what I need to do to be better. She offers a smile to Slytherin. It's a big task, but I'm going to be, undaunted by it. So, Alarasalm, savior of orphans, is it? He asks. Something like that. She admits, and he nods. Sounds good. Anyways, while the movie has them and hundreds of more children arrive and they see the movie playing and quickly find places to watch. Those that wander off instead find themselves back in the clearing after a few steps, which quickly leads to a game as the children see if they can't outrun or outthink the forest. I'm going to need to call home, speak to my mother and warn her. She's good at finances and architecture. Are you sure that's a good idea? No, but it's a necessary one. Even if I were to pull the funds I need to feed and clothe every orphan here, let alone the ones coming along as we speak, the bounty on my safe return has to be addressed, and if it's not, then at any moment I could be pulled away from them all. Which is the last thing a traumatized child needs to see. Best of luck. Just best of luck? She asks. Not sure what else I can say or do for that matter. I'm all right with family, but my problems are very, very different, Slytherin says. The flying weapons outright vanish in the moment they contact the spores, and the screaming grows stronger. At which point, several sorcerers get looks of consternation before it spreads to all of them. Mushroom Fresby, Airfarce calls out as he throws the wide and flat mushroom cap right into the face of the formerly armed guardswoman and turns around before raising an eyebrow at the sorcerers around him. What? We've been doing this like idiots. The kids can't resist a teleport, and we can muck them up for the adults if we just spread the spores. Bernard notes with a pinched expression. Put a filter on or something, unless you don't mind tasting things for days. And a gas mask goes on more or less instantly right in front of a massive wave of spores, so thick it's more like a dark brown wall that spreads down the hallway. Are the other teams doing this too? Total area saturation and control. No point not. We've got resistors. Time to kick ass. All right. Give me a moment, Airfarce says as he properly straps on the gas mask and follows the sorcerers on their hunt. They've got better visuals than him, so he has to rely on their senses instead. Contacts. We've got 2 teams of 5 gathering together, and they're all resisting the forced woodwalking, Bernard states, and there's a huff of amusement. Step aside, kiddos. Pain is distraction aplenty, so we just need to break their focus, and we win. Easy. Eric's Huth. The Burnstone states with a vicious turn in his voice. Directly. Below. With that, he crashes down into the level below and sets everything on fire. The screams of shock are immense and cut off nearly instantly, as they were focused on the flaming lunatic and not on resisting the forced woodwalking. Pfft, too easy. Geez, Gramps, leave some for us, Airfarce notes as he jumps down the level and sweeps the hallway with his limited vision. Anyone else giving you hippies a hard time? We have a few holdouts, but all the children are already gone. Well, they certainly stepped on the gas, Jade mutters as the clearing goes from sort of crowded to packed with confused children. Thankfully, the movie that Slytherin has playing is going off very well with the children. He quickly sets up his other drones to project the same movie as the others and synchronize all at once. Where are the snacks again? I can hear some of the children complaining about hunger or missing nap time. The facilities were all on different parts of the planet. Some of them are waking up from their naps or had their snack time interrupted. Maybe not snacks. Maybe a dinner instead. They've had nothing but snacks and naps and distracting play for, I don't know how long. A proper meal to help them all. Yes, that's what they need. What are you thinking? Slytherin asks. Soup. Warm, comforting soup for all of them. Help me get as much ready as possible, Magi Kemka says, and she and many others quickly get things started. On a space station far from Lilb Tulelb, a communicator goes off. It's activated on audio only. The owner of it is exhausted and unhappy. Hello? This is Gertrude Duskwing, I hope? The voice on the other end asks. It is. She groans into the receiver. It is way too early in the day for this. We've found your son. And just like that, she's wide awake. What? How? I thought the case went cold. Who are you? What's going on? Gertrude demands. We're in the process of breaking up a child trafficking ring. Your son is one of the first ones identified as having been rescued. Where is he? Lilb Tulelb, Southern Hemisphere, the Bright Forest. The what? Things have changed a great deal here in a hurry. We have a small army, numerous volunteers, and a gigantic and enormously powerful axiom-based life form watching over not only your son but many others. Our hands are full. We need you to come pick him up as soon as possible. The officer on the other end states, Is he all right? What happened to him? We'll give you the full details when you arrive. Physically, he's fine, but he's been rejuvenated back to a specific state so many times. He's 9 years old again, ma'am. Everything else has been erased. Oh, does he remember me? We haven't asked him yet. We're just trying to keep literally millions of children from panicking. So if you please show up and keep this one calm at the very least, I'd be quite appreciative. Please tell me that the people responsible for this are going to get it. Clean sweep, madam. Keep your eyes on the news. You're going to get quite a show. Sounds good. Where do I meet you? Central Police Station on Lilb Tulelb. Give us warning when you arrive in the system and he'll be waiting for you there. The officer says, Yes, okay, yes, I'm coming. Oh my goddess, I'm coming, she says and hangs up. There's a flurry of movement through her small home. 30 years ago, her son was on a date when the car exploded. Then he vanished from the hospital, never to be seen again, until now. Younger or not, she wants him back, and there will be death for anyone that tries to get in her way. The Sonier woman is dressed in under a minute and races through her home station to the landing pad where her ship is kept. The small vessel may be made for geological surveys of meteors and asteroids, but it was also a nimble beast. She would have her little brown-eyed sweetheart under her wings again, even if she had to ram her ship clean through planetary shields to do it.